question I receive a lot is, why do I even need an estate plan? Why is it necessary? And most people are familiar with probate and the way probate works, but let me run through it real quick just to give you an understanding of essentially the old model of planning and the new model of planning. Now, the old model is that you would make a will, and in the will you would say who gets what, right? Now, what happens is when you make a will, you still end up in court. The reason for that is that when you die without designating where things go, things are left out in limbo. And the state looks at that and the state says, oh man, we got to deal with this. This isn't going to anybody. We have to designate where it goes. And so if there's a will, they look at the will and they say, okay, this is telling us where things go. But again, that doesn't help avoid probate. Once you're in there, they pay off your creditors first, and finally it goes to your heirs. Now the new model is, instead of doing that, you have assets that you title in the name of the trust. So instead of those assets being left out in limbo for the court to deal with, those assets are dealt with through your trust, through titling it in the name of your trust. And now there is still a will, but the will serves a different function. The will serves the function of catching any assets that you do not title correctly. So in the event you don't title assets correctly, you will go to probate, but hopefully it'll be a shorter stop. And the court will see in the will that the will points them to a trust. And so they'll read the will document. It says, we have a living trust, and they will boot it out of probate, and it'll be dealt with privately. So that's now the new model of estate planning.